All right, welcome to Mountain House Flag Football. Yeah, this is when you clap. This is our 8th season. Some of you who have been with us before. Yeah, I hear you. I can hear you. Some of you who have been with us before, which is more than half of you, heard this story before. Our first season, we had 80 kids and on 10 teams, and the lowest division, some of you guys may still be here, there were only 2 teams and they played each other 11 times. This year we're up to 470 players on 48 teams. We have 73 cheerleaders, so it's like 540 kids. So we've grown a little bit in 8 years. When we first started, when we had 80 kids, I knew everybody's names. I knew their uncles' names, their second cousins' names. But now, since there are so many of you, if I see you in Costco, I probably won't recognize you. Unless you're like an 8th year player. We have some of those. Let me start by introducing some of our board members. Stephanie Olson, are you here? Stephanie's all the way over there. Bring the name tags. Stephanie Olson. Wave your hand, Stephanie. Eric Hill, where are you? Eric Hill. Eric's been with us all 8 years, so has Stephanie. Bob Corden, over there. Bob does all the videos and edits all the games. All of our games are videotaped and put on YouTube, so you can, watch game film before each week. How many of you guys are veterans? How many of you played before? Raise your hands. How many second-year players? Third-year players? Any fourth-year players? Fourth-year players? Remember, starting your 4th year, you actually will get a patch. Any of you have your jersey on with a patch? Andy, stand up. Your patch goes on the left shoulder, turn around. Left shoulder above the team name, okay? Any 5th year players? We got a few. 6th year? No 6th year players here? You're 7-year players? Raise your hands. 7-year patch. And we actually have 3 players that started with us our first year. We have 3 8th year players. They get the special star patch. It's not going to go up higher than that. So, and if they complete the season, they get inducted into our Player Hall of Fame. 3 players. I don't think any of them are here, though. We have these 3 rules, 3 simple rules. Anybody remember those? Logan, do you remember? Name one of them. Have fun. That's rule number 1. Meet some new friends, learn some new skills. Rule number 2, okay? 3 simple rules. Have fun, learn some new skills, make some new friends, and no bad behavior out here, okay? No bad behavior anywhere, actually. No graffitiing, no playing Pokemon in the middle of the night. I saw this post on Facebook. I don't know if any of you guys use Facebook, but some kids are playing at 4 o'clock in the morning in the middle of the street. And some parents are actually like, that's okay, right? Not my kids. All right, what's next? Communication. This is for the parents. Communications is very important to us. Shh. I don't want to talk over you guys, even though they can probably hear me. Communications is very important to us, so you'll probably get an email from me about once a week. Emails are a primary method of communication, so please check it regularly. I'm not going to call anybody. I'm not going to text you, usually, too many of you. If you have paid and haven't received the welcome email or email number 1, it's probably in your spam, so please email me and let me know. I assume since you made it, you probably got the email. This is important, okay? Team assignments will go out next Wednesday or earlier. There are probably, with 470 kids, probably close to 700 requests this year. So it's going to take me a lot of time to get through them. And I want to emphasize, again, that these are requests. Every once in a while, some parent will send me some angry emails if they don't get everything they want. So please, no angry emails. some of the requests are just not doable. You know, player A wants to be with player B, and player B wants to be with player C, but player A and C want different coaches. Well, I can't satisfy every one of those requests. Or player C can only come Mondays and Wednesdays, and player B can only do Tuesdays and Thursdays. Some of the requests I just cannot satisfy. Some other requests, for example, if the 4 best players in the division, they're all best friends, they all want to be on the same team, I probably will not grant those requests either. I'll probably split up the team so the team's a little bit more even. And I get a lot of angry requests, angry emails for that, but no angry emails this year. Again, you'll get an email from me Wednesday with your team assignment, practice time and date, and your coach's contact information. Now that we've gotten so big, we've run out of Bob Corden family members to videotape all the games. So last year, we started asking each set of parents, so each kid, to volunteer an hour. Volunteer, I know you're forced to volunteer for an hour, right, which is still better than most leagues and stuff. So we need each set of parents, each kid needs to have one volunteer hour to either videotape games or sit at the concession stands. It's usually during your kid's game, so you're either videotaping your kid's game or you're doing concessions right next to your kid's game, so you still get to watch it. But without the volunteers, we can't get some of these things done. There's only so many Bob Cordens that can volunteer. In fact, Bob, after each week, takes all the games and edits them, and takes like 30, 40 hours a week to edit them. So I cannot make any more Bob Cordens. He can make more Bob Cordens, though. That's why we need everybody to kind of step up. And 1 hour, some of you may have to do 2 hours because we don't make the head coaches volunteer and videotape. So some of you may have to do 2 hours, but no more than that. In addition, I already have a list started. We also need help in the mornings. I think I have a pretty good number right now, but if you have your kids have an early game and you want to help out with setting up at 7:30 in the morning, please send me an email. Okay, page 2. We're moving right along. I don't need that. Well, I get a lot of emails about equipment or jerseys and uniforms, so I'll say it here, and it's in your email too. The shorts will be distributed by the coaches at the first practice, and they should wear the shorts for all the practices and games because we have who's got the special shorts on? Anybody? The shorts have Velcros on them. That's where we put the flag, so they have to come to the games with them. If they show up without the shorts, they can't play. Jerseys are all personalized. We've been doing this for 8 years, so that takes a lot of time. Up now we have 470 kids, so you will get the jerseys probably the week before the first game, but hopefully we'll get everybody's jerseys distributed that week. Playing time. Some of you guys are new to this league, so you are not familiar with this league, this rule, but most of you are veterans. We have a 50% rule in this league, which means that every kid who's physically available and able has to play in 50% of the game. So if there are 10 players per team, which most teams have 10, and they all show up, each kid should play 50%. Nobody should play more or less. For the first 5 years, we had the coaches decide playing time, and it didn't always end up so even. So we implemented the rule 3 years ago, and it's worked okay. Referees. The coaches are also the referees of the games. And being a referee and also administrator is very challenging, of course. Most of you who have been involved with youth sports, you know this. And all of our referees and administrators are volunteers. Please do not abuse them. The number one way to get you and your kids kicked out of the league is to verbally or physically abuse the referees and coaches, okay? So don't do that. You know, most of you, who has watched football or basketball, baseball on TV in the past? You guys? Nobody? Nobody in that section? Everybody has watched sports, and guess what? Calls always get missed sometimes. And sometimes the call goes for your team. Sometimes it goes against your team. Just expect that will happen in this league, in the next league you play in college, when some of you guys make it into the NFL. Chris Moore, where are you? Chris Moore, when you make it to the NFL? Teams, injuries. Injuries do happen. Luckily in this league, we have a full-time doctor at the field. We also started a concussion protocol last year. It's flag football, but kids still run into each other every once in a while, so we want to take concussions very seriously. So all the coaches will go through training this week and next week. We have a 6-page rule book on the website. It's very short. We made it short on purpose so that the coaches will read it and some of you will read it. If I make it 300 pages like some of the other leagues, nobody's going to read it. So it's on the website. Feel free to go through it with your kids. The coaches will probably go through it with your kids. It won't address every situation, every detail, but that was on purpose. Fundraisers. This year, the registration fee for this league was $100, which is the same as what we charged 8 years ago. And in between, actually, we charge as low as $80. And we're able to do this because of all the fundraisers that we do. How many of you guys have heard of the Kite Run? That's one of our fundraisers. How about the Royal Affair? Anybody? Some of you? No, that's another one of our fundraisers. In addition to those fundraisers, we also sell flag football shirts, hoodies, hats. So if you guys are interested in purchasing something and supporting the league, just send me an email. We also started doing this really cool fundraiser called with Amazon. Have you guys heard of Amazon? Have you heard of Amazon? Any of you spend money on Amazon? They have this really cool program actually. It's called smile.amazon.com. So instead of typing amazon.com, you just add smile in front of it. And when you get there, the first time they'll ask you which nonprofit you want to support. Of course, I hope you support Mountain House Flag Football. But every dollar you spend, they give like 0.1 or 0.5% of it back to us. Doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, when 500 kids' parents spend money, that adds up very quickly. So that's another way we can help support the league. And 100% of the money that we generate go back to the league. Nobody on the staff gets paid anything. We're all volunteers, so all the money goes back to the kids to keep the registration fees down. That was one of our goals when we started, to keep the fees down so we could get more kids to participate. And it's worked out pretty well so far. Let's give a big hand to the coaches. For somewhere, we could not have grown to a league with 470 kids without some of the best coaches around. So, great guys. Big hand again. The coach is going to lead them in a quick warm-up, and then focus. This is important, okay? You don't want to end up in the wrong division. We're going to have 3 stations, okay? We're going to split it up into 3 groups, and you guys will help with that. The 2002 to 2005 birthdays will be in one group. 2006 and 7 will be in the middle group, and 2008 and younger will be in the third group. And each group will rotate through 3 stations. First station is the 25-yard dash between the pylons. So they'll line up here, we'll time them twice, run as fast as you can. And then second group will be over there with the long toss. We try to see who can throw the ball the furthest. And the third station is over there with the running patterns and catching balls. We're going to rotate through each station, hopefully 30 minutes per station. At the end of those 3 stations, once everybody has gone through, we're going to grab the 6 fastest kids in each group, and we're going to have like one of those races. You know that thing that they're having this summer? The Olympics? Well, we have that too, except we have it every year. So we're going to see who the fastest person in each group is, okay? And we're going to have a long toss championship too, the top 6 in each division. See the guy in the red shirt over there? We're going to run a big lap. You're going to follow him. Don't run him over. He's very thin and frail. Yeah, that guy. Put your water on the field if you have water. Say it, the football.